Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Piece of Pat Paints. I'm Pat. I paint miniatures. That's what I do here on the internet. Well, I guess YouTube. There's so many new corners of the internet. You'll have to forgive me. I'm old, so like the internet is like one big thing in my brain still. Just I've got that calcification reptilian thing going on. So like it's all one big thing to me. But you know, you're on this little corner of the internet known as YouTube. I paint miniatures. I do some of the, what's the other one? TikTok. I put some of my shorts, reels, stream. I don't know what we call those. The short videos, spins, whatever. We put those on TikTok, but mostly it's here. If you want to chit chat with me and learn a little bit about how painting and all that works, that's what we do here at our little studio. It's yeah, it's a lot of fun. Well, I think it's a lot of fun. I don't know that like everybody. I don't know. Everybody thinks it's that much fun. You know, but some people do, and some people find it useful. I've gotten a few messages about how useful what we're doing is, and I think that's amazing. Like that's really. I'm kind of a teacher at heart, so I do like I like being able to do that. Be able to provide a place where people can kind of learn a little bit about how something works, because like miniature painting is one of those weird hobbies where, you know, there's not a whole lot of books or anything about it. Just weird creaky brake sound going down the street. We live out in the country, so like it's very rare somebody's coming around. Or well, we're not like country. We're like out on the edge of the country. There's a city close to us, so we're not like out in the sticks, but. A lot of people would call our house pretty rural, because to get here you got to drive through the streets through a forest. You know, I love it. We live in this what they used to call the Iron Forest, or at least on the edge of it. We're on the western edge of this forest, and it stretches out towards this Mississippi. And because it goes like all the way down, and it breaks up in little pieces, and there's little branches of it, so it's really neat. When the Spaniards first got here, they learned how awful it was, and that's why it got its name, because the trees are tough and yeah, it's legit. I love it. Lots of blackjack oaks and crazy elms and birch trees and stuff like that. We got a lot of them. So, we're supposed to be painting though, not talking about all this. Let me get myself figured out here. I'm a little tired today. I worked a lot yesterday. Driving, because after I get done with the award stuff, I went to do a little bit of driving, make a little bit of cash. I do a little bit of the Uber thing for fun and money. It's yeah. If you don't really, I don't know. It's like I don't really need a career, you know. I already had mine, it's over. And so I'm kind of trying to figure out what the hell to do with myself. And this is fun. I like doing this. So I think we're going to try, we're just going to try and do what I wanted to do when I was in high school, which is be an artist for a living. Yeah. I don't know how well that works. We'll see how well it works. Why am I trying to do it on this big old honker? I didn't see that for pictures. That's for like large pictures. Bunch of these little mushrooms too. Which I think is really fun. Coming up his leg here. I'm not exactly sure that's what they're supposed to be, but that's what we're making it look like. He's got little versions of himself growing up his leg. It's pretty funny. We don't really know too much about this guy, so I'm pretty sure this is a WizKids model. which they make decent stuff. It's not the greatest. Like, you can definitely get better models. I feel like Reaper makes a better model, but this kid's like a great. Number one, if you're looking for like authentic licensed D&D monsters, they are 100% gonna happen. Even like some of the well-known NPCs from their Forgotten Realms stuff might end up as a WizKids product. So they have that going for them, which is nice. So, you know, and they come pre-primed, so you don't have to really worry too much about getting them primed up, which, you know, sometimes that's a benefit for, you know, some folks. And the sculpts they're not the worst things ever. Sometimes they need a little bit of TLC before you can really get started on them, but cutting out mold lines, things like that. But you get that on a lot of miniatures. That's kind of a process of making them. Even on a 3D print, you still got some things you have to kind of prep and deal with. Oh, and while I got it in my head right now. Guten Tag, Fräuleins and Herrs. Und Herrs, Fräuleins und Herrs. My German is super rusty. I learned German when I was in high school, and I had some German chefs I worked for, but they all spoke English. So you'd only get occasional German pieces. I do remember Guten Tag and Auf Wiedersehen, which are like good day and goodbye. And Herrs and Fräuleins are sirs and ladies. So just trying to, you know, I saw on my weekly wrap up that over 50% of our viewership is coming out of Germany right now. So figure I get hit with the lingo a little bit, maybe. It's good. I like German food. German. Lots of things from Germany I like. German cars. Some great football teams in Germany. Great footballers from Germany. Some good players. The Bundesliga, I think, if I remember right. So, yeah, there's that. Myconids are crazy. Little mushroom men. Okay, got everything working right. Looks like I do. Mic's on. I feel like they have like black, like, oh, crazy lidless eyes. Dome Myconids. Maybe not. Maybe they have like, yeah, they got like black eyes. This is the one that's based on this guy. That's almost bit for bit who that guy is. This one we don't have. This one we just try to kind of mimic what other colors. That guy is pound for pound the same guy we're looking at right here. Cool. We're kind of getting a little bit of cartoon. I like this little Myconid dog thing. I don't know what that is, but it's crazy looking. Okay. Yeah, we got the right idea. Just gotta make this one look a little bit more like this one. A little bit more on some of this. Touch my yellow. There we go. Got all these little details on his back that really need to be brought out to help the back of this model look a little bit more interesting without this stuff standing out. Taking a little plane there. And you see how instantly bringing that out is going to help make it have just a little bit more shape and function. These are kind of fun because you don't really need to worry too much about what colors you're using as long as you keep them in that little spectrum. Time here. Sit blacked out and get that nice black there for her. A little bit of a lighter version of Naples. this just really one last highlight for the more typical fungus white mass that you see on big mushrooms and stuff. Just kind of help bring the overall color scheme up and out a little bit. And we got to work on these hands, and then this one will be done. We'll be on to the next one. Coming over all these little details very, very carefully. Looks like he's got a couple of those little mushrooms there. We may come back and mess with that just a little bit. We're not too concerned with what's going on over here. We want to kind of give it a little bit of a glance, so you can at least see where the different parts of the mandibles and stuff are. Really just trying to kind of bring out the fact that they exist. It can get a little hard to see them. And you don't give them a little extra help. Now remember, a lot of this, it looks really bright now, but a lot of this color will fade down as it dries. And if we need to, we can just put a little more magenta over top of it. If we feel like it's taking too much away. Yeah, these are mushrooms that are stuck on here too. that's a red with a burnt umber. I'm just gonna develop this rock in that really kind of a reddish clay kind of look. Then we're gonna probably do this in our Army Painter gravel. I want to make sure that this is going to have a different look to that, so that it looks like another rock or something sitting in there, which is, I don't know, that actually seems like probably not a good idea. We probably need to put some grass around it. These things typically live in a forest. Anyway, we'll come back and we'll add some more washes and some good, like a much darker wash to tone that down even more. That color is going to look great underneath the mushrooms. Mushroom guys, Myconids. 22 minutes in, and we got one that's finished. He was mostly done. No. So yeah, this guy's even got a bigger thing going on. He's got a lot happening. Okay. There we go, lots bigger. Drink some coffee. Think about what I'm gonna do. I should have brought some water in here. That was a mistake. Yesterday. My hands are sore as hell. Alright. Wanted a little bit of an orange top on this guy, so we have a little bit too, kind of a different looks, you know? A little orange top. So we're gonna start off on that cadmium orange. Super bright pumpkin orange. And put that down first, and then we're gonna add some maples here at the front, and we'll fade this all in. That'll look nice. Yeah, I love watching the analytics. Honestly, that's been really cool. Probably one of the coolest parts about this whole thing has been learning like that. This really does spread all over the place. The YouTube things go across the world, and I don't know. To me, that's a really neat thing. Maybe I'm just old school or something. I don't know. Now I'm just very gently touching the very tip-top edges of all this stuff. It's not an easy thing to do. It takes a little bit of practice. Now these are regular strokes here.
one of the big important things here is to make sure you're using your brush strokes to your advantage. You need to make sure on the open spaces it's going in the right direction. So when it dries, it sets up a smooth look, and it almost looks more natural that way. This one's got some striations in it too, but because of the way it looks like it's supposed to be there. Ooh, we got it to pop in real good. Look there. Take a look at it while we got it set up. This camera has a hard time focusing on what I'm doing, and that's one of the reasons we need to get ourselves a new camera. So we are working towards that. Hopefully we make enough money at this show tomorrow to be able to do that. Of course, you never know. So yeah, we'll see. But that would be great. It would be that's the idea. That's the goal is to make enough money to buy a better camera for the YouTubes. Wild world over here lately in the U.S. Things are a little crazy. Gonna be for a while, I think. The interesting thing about the U.S. is that it will change. People don't remember, they don't have long memories around here. So they don't really, I mean, I do. I have a much longer memory than my average compatriot here. They have very short memory. But we did this dance again, before we did all this dance where we had, billionaires and stuff like that trying to tell us how to live our lives. We did this, we've done this before. We've done this a couple of times actually. So it'll go back. Eventually, America remembers that our greatest strength is in our diversity. Not many people remember old Ross Perot, but Ross Perot said that. He ran for president. When was that? When did Ross Perot run for president? That was that Bush, Clinton? And Clinton ended up winning that, if I remember right. I might be wrong. That might have been Bush, Al Gore. Bush Jr. and Al Gore. I'd have to look that one up. But we were going through the same problems back in those days. You know, prior to 9/11. And 9/11 kind of like put it on the back burner for a little while, but it you know, it was bound to rear its ugly head again. You know, because hate is easy. You know, and I've said not. I have wondered at what I should really, how far I should really talk about things on these shows, and I've kind of gotten to the point where like nobody listens to it. I mean, not nobody. There's not as many people listen to it as I may have been worried about in the past. So I'm just gonna kind of say things because my views aren't super controversial. I'm actually what they would consider a moderate. I hold a little bit of views on all sides, and you know, certain things need to be conservative. We need to be conservative with certain things, and certain things we need a little bit more liberal with, a little bit more. I don't want to use the term socialist, but there is a civil obligation from the government to take care of its citizens. We don't live in a monarchy anymore. Like that's, you know, there we don't need kings and queens of industry. That's not something we actually need. You know, now I think communism is too far. You know, a lot of socialism is too far. Because, you know, we see how that actually works out, and it doesn't work the way it says it's going to work. It always ends up with, you know, the same thing. Some corrupt person at the top and a ruling class that elites. And every now and again, you got to kind of like get things changed up. And we're in the process of doing that right now. Problem is it gets kind of ham-fisted, and that's where we are right now. This weird ham-fisted attempt to make things work. It always kind of ends up for naught, really. Sometimes I knock too much water off of them. There's a flow you need. After you kind of figure out what flow you like to work with, that's kind of key in all of this. Everybody kind of has their different viscosity they want. Like some people like it to be super thin, and I only like that in certain applications. I like my paints to start off way thick compared to what a lot of people like. So like I don't always recommend people follow what I do, you know, with the exact colors I use. I used to post those things. I guess I should start doing that again. I don't know. Drop a comment if you think I should start doing it. We'll get some comments rolling somehow, damn it. We don't get a whole lot of comments, but every now and again. And the comments we get, I really cherish. So thank you to everybody who does comment. And all of my likes and subscribes, and the people who watch. I have a lot of folks who watch that aren't subscribed, so if you are subscribed, well, not a lot. I have some folks that watch but are not subscribed. So if you watch us and you're not subscribed yet, give us one of those subs. That's super helpful. We're at 355 now, so we're still like, what is that? We're 145 subscribers away from the first parts of the qualifications to start getting YouTube to monetize us, which is like, that's crazy. legitimately, that's crazy. I don't even know what to do with all of that. So, yeah, I think that's really neat. But 400 is the goal, so we're going to keep kind of pushing around. Might pick up some subscribers this weekend. That would be really cool. I'm going to try to set up a sign and stuff that allows people to follow us if they want. Just putting that information out there. Yeah, we're only 40 minutes in. Cruising. Ooh, gosh, that was big. That was some gas. Ooh, God. You ever have one of those where you're like, oh, it makes your whole fucking body hurt? Or is that an age thing? Maybe that's an age thing. I don't know if anybody actually even heard that. My mic's, with the upgraded mic, it's pretty good. Like, if it's way over here, it barely picks up. But like there, it picks up real loud. So pretty good. I'm really happy with it. Definitely one step at a time. I think we're gonna get to, like, when we get the next camera in, we'll move this camera we're using now over, like maybe in front, so like maybe you can look, like maybe it goes right there, so that it can. But I don't know. Then when you're looking at my face, you're not. You're looking at my head, top of my head, maybe. I don't know. But we'll have an extra camera, which is, this camera is better than that camera. So maybe I'll just replace that camera with this camera. Just, again, kind of let the model tell you what it needs to do. Remember what your light sources are, and just go to town, really. There's honestly no right or wrong here. Which is kind of what makes it fun, really. You can kind of paint them whatever color you want. The Myconids have all these exotic, crazy colors. It should be cool though. Tomorrow I'm gonna set up live. It's our setup to paint live. I don't know that I'll be. I don't know that I'm gonna do the show tomorrow. Get that all reset properly before people are like, why weren't you on the show yesterday? Oh, that's not actually what I meant. Alright. Maybe just a few little orange spots here. Get rid of this little piece of orange. There too. The same thing with these with orange top ones with them kind of popped out. Maybe even red top. Here we go. Come back and pop that out a little bit more in a second. Oh, my fingertips. 46 minutes in. We're doing great. this last claw done up. Fingertips keep going numb on me. Always take a break as soon as you feel that numbness going. Alright, now I gotta do the last bit of the white maples, and we're done. We're cruising to, we're right on time. Going too far up the full, that paint's a little high. That's alright. Don't let it dry when it gets that. If it gets close to the metal part, you've gotten it too much on there. But what we're working with is kind of hard for close right now. Those paints are a little drier than they need to be, and it's alright. We're going to change all that out for tomorrow. Back on track. Get this in. Really shouldn't be mixing paints with your detail brush, honestly. It's probably better. Probably should be avoided, but whatever. Okay, we'll just try to get a little bit of the color that pop out on the highlights. Maybe come back with some pure white on his beard. We'll see. Some straight up titanium. Straight up titanium white. I did this after his leg here. A little too thin there. A little bit of green. fast. Oh. Need to slow down. Do this properly. I'll do that, and we're gonna have to get them flocked up just like the rest of everything else. I'll flock the bottoms, and I'll be done. I'll throw them up on the spin. I've now got lots of stuff to spin up before we go out tomorrow. So yeah, 2 Myconids. Had a lot of fun. They were kind of fun to paint too. Simple, vibrant color schemes. Yeah, great. Oh, I need to get this guy's eyes. Not the whole front of his face. Dang. Okay. Oof, that sucked. Okay, let's try again. All right, now they look a little bit better. This guy's eyes are just pronounced. There we go. Scary. Kind of feeling a little more orange on this top too. Dry and it should be right on time. Yeah, a little bit different and a little bit the same, which is exactly what we want. Awesome. Well, good timing too. Oop. Now let's see. We'll get all this taken care of. Yesterday, with closing it down was just a pain. I don't know what happened. My computer was acting all crazy, and it's like, I don't want you to stop. Oh, yes, that was not yesterday. That was Wednesday. Well, it took a second. That shouldn't have taken that long. Yeah. If you do live in Oklahoma and you find yourself out in Shawnee tomorrow at the fairgrounds, the expo center will be having an exposition. I'm going to be there hawking miniatures and painting other miniatures, and yeah, be cool. It'll be a lot of fun. So come on by, check us out, and yeah, if you're here, come buy something maybe, or have a corn dog. I bet you they'll sell corn dogs. I think they said the concession stand will be open. And I think there's a lot of other stuff. There's a lot of collectibles and stuff like that. So if you're into collectibles, cards, cars, I imagine there's going to be trains and dolls and all sorts of different stuff. Yeah, these collectible shows are just kind of like that. So like a huge collection of like different things people make and collect, crafts and art and stuff like that. So it'll be neat. It'd be fun. I mean, I'm gonna start trying to get into this circuit and start doing selling stuff. It'd be neat. Anyway, you guys have a great rest of your day, and we are gonna catch you tomorrow. No, today's Friday, so we'll catch you Monday. Here Monday. Yeah, and then we're rolling on towards a vacation. I think 2 weeks. 2 weeks away, I'll be going on vacation. So there might be some. I might do some updates, but I'm not gonna. I don't know that I don't know how much live. I don't know that I'll be doing lives. So look for like the little posts on YouTube, and I might do like a couple shorts or something like that. Just kind of like, hey, this is where we are. This is what we're doing. So yeah, you guys have a great day. And we'll talk to you later. Be good to somebody. Be good to somebody out there in the world today. It'll help. If everybody starts trying to be a little bit nicer, maybe we don't have every conversation as an argument this weekend. Maybe we try to listen instead of pushing our opinion on people. This is advice I should take just as much as anybody else too. So maybe that's what we should try to do. Anyway, you guys have a great day. We're going to talk to you later. Bye.